Hi guys, my name is Ephraim Kosi. So welcome back to my channel, my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we dive into whether BlackRock and Vanguard actually own major companies like Meta, Tesla, Microsoft, and Apple. With their significant holdings, people often think these two asset managers control these companies. But so is that true? We'll explore how institutional ownership works, why BlackRock and Vanguard appear as top shareholders, and the role of passive investing in today's markets. So, what to the end? So, as you can see, I'm sharing my screen right now. So, this is we're going to use a trader workstation by Interactive Brokers. So, just to tackle this. So, the first thing I want to show you, if you can see, this is we are in Fundamental Explorer. So this is a page for Meta. You can see if I hover like this is Meta. And then this is an overview page of Meta. You can see I can come down here and then just to show you how the page actually looks like in a trader workstation for fundamental explorers. So this is just how the page looks like. But what I'm going to do, I'll come here where it says ownership. So if I click on ownership, so we see it gives us the ownership history. Then see if it can come like this. So we come down, you can see here where it says the ownership. Institutions, that's 1.73 billion. So strategic entities, that's 3.54 million. But if you come down here, you see institutions. There's Vanguard Group Inc., Fidelity Management and Research Company. Then there's BlackRock institutions. So one interesting thing is that usually the owners and founders are not even here. As you can see, like for Meta, strategic entities, that's where we find Mark Zuckerberg here. But let's just try another one. Instead of Meta, we have Microsoft. So if I come to Microsoft, then we can still do the same thing. We come to ownership, check ownership. So we come down to see how the shareholding is. So you see again institutions, it's Vanguard Group Inc. and BlackRock. So again, let me just try another one. So this is let me just see, this is Microsoft. So let's try Tesla. So if we come to Tesla, you say ownership, and come back again down here. Again, you see that there's Vanguard Group, BlackRock. If we do maybe try Apple, because I was actually doing this before, but I just want to show you. Come to ownership. For Apple, let's just wait a little bit. So ownership, again, you see Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock institutions. So for now, let's just dive into institutional ownership and how it works. So let's start with a quick overview of what institutional ownership actually means. You see, big asset managers like BlackRock and Vanguard manage trillions of dollars, probably you know, on behalf of investors all over the world. So typically, they take these funds and invest across a wide array of stocks, giving their clients exposure to many different companies. And that includes well-known companies like Meta, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, and the likes. So now this isn't about trying to own or control these companies, but rather about offering their clients diversified investments through index funds and ETFs. So now, how does BlackRock and Vanguard accumulate uh, these shares? So how do they actually end up with such large positions in these companies, right? Because I think that's what people have been asking. So it's because many investors want exposure to major companies, okay? So which are often included in popular indices like the S&P 500. By managing index funds that mirror these indices, BlackRock and Vanguard end up holding a large number of shares in these companies. It's not about picking these companies individually. It's about following the structure of these indices for their investors. Okay. So do they own these companies? Because like here it says ownership. So do they actually own these companies? Now here's where it gets interesting. While BlackRock and Vanguard hold a significant number of shares, it doesn't mean they own or control these companies. When it comes to ownership, in this case, it doesn't mean they are involved in the, what can I say? It doesn't mean they are involved in the day-to-day operations. They don't have a direct say in how these companies are run. They are, however, voting shareholders, which means they have some influence in corporate governance, but that's very different from controlling the company's direction. Okay. So now we can say why BlackRock and Vanguard appear in top shareholders. Okay. So why do we keep seeing BlackRock and Vanguard as top shareholders in so many companies, right? Well, it's because they are two of the largest providers of index funds and ETFs. With passive investing on the rise, they naturally accumulate large holdings in these companies. This is simply a byproduct of their business models, okay? So offering a much broader exposure to the market by holding shares in a range of companies, especially the big ones that anchor these indices, right? So now, how do we address the public perception? A lot of people see BlackRock and Vanguard on these top shareholders lists and jump to the conclusion that they control these companies. But that's not really accurate. What we are looking at here are shares that belong to millions of individual investors. So BlackRock and Vanguard are just managing these shares on behalf of these investors. They are not claiming ownership themselves in the traditional sense, per se. They're acting as intermediaries, if you will. Okay. Yeah. So what about the role of maybe if we say proxy voting? One thing to note is that as fiduciaries, BlackRock and Vanguard do get voting rights, right? Which they use on behalf of their clients. However, they usually base their votes on corporate governance policies rather than trying to interfere in the company's business decisions. Some people do question these voting powers, but their main goal is ensuring good governance rather than trying to control the companies directly, right? So maybe what we can do, we can try to sum up everything, okay? BlackRock and Vanguard hold large stakes in major companies because of their passive investing approach, right? They are influential due to their scale, but they don't actually own or control these companies. Their role reflects the growing trend of passive investing. where they are essentially giving people a piece of the market rather than running the companies themselves. Okay, so that's basically what we see with BlackRock and Vanguard. So at the end of the description, we can just say that these two are just doing their job as fund managers, right? Okay. So I think that's it. That's all I have to say on this. So, but for more insights into industry standard practices and professional trading strategies, you can check out my book, Professional Trading: Mastering Industry Standard Practices, in the description below. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.